In this video, we'll be discussing engineering marketing and how it relates to personal contact, networking, and social media. Be sure to stay around to the end of the video where we'll give you a free special offer. So, are you ready? Let's dive in now. Personal contact. The best marketing is simply walking up and greeting your potential client. Admittedly, it can be very difficult for engineers to actually walk up and talk to a stranger, especially with any real level of confidence. But with a well thought out plan, this can be a lot easier than you think. When you are confident in your abilities and the services that you provide, you will want everyone to know exactly what you have to provide. Let's say you've received a lead on someone who may need your services from your contact list. You decide to contact this individual, but how? In engineering, as it is in most companies, you do it by picking up the phone and dialing the number. Or you may choose to send an email to that individual, which may be or may not be opened. There are a number of other ways to also meet this individual. One is by having a meeting, sending out mailers, or by knowing what professional events they may be attending in the next few weeks. Your goal is to make contact with that individual and then to introduce yourself. Most of the time, your first contact with a potential client will be through a phone call. Either he or she will contact you or vice versa. There are 3 types of calls: hot, warm, and cold. If the person calls you, he will already know some of the professional services that you provide and is looking to see if you are willing to provide a proposal. This is called a hot call. These individuals need your services and are ready to sign a contract if your fees are acceptable. If the person you are calling is someone who is referred to you by someone you know, then this is a warm call. These individuals are familiar with your associate and will think that you are also trustworthy to handle their needs. Warm calls take a little bit longer to convince the prospective client that you are the person they need and to sign a contract. If the person you are calling is someone you're calling out of the blues without any connections, then this conversation is known as a cold call. Marketing cold calls require first sending out brochures or a company email describing your professional services. This helps to warm up the prospective client to at least give him a chance to do a little bit of research and talk with his associates about you. Now when you make a call, you can ask whether they received your brochure or email and how you may be able to help them. Obviously, cold calls have a longer timeline to move from introductions to a contract to actually providing professional services. Typically, the warmer the call is, the more likely they'll have a conversation with you, and the quicker you move from introductions to negotiating a contract. You may decide to meet a prospective client over lunch or coffee. Sometimes you may meet a prospective client in his office or conference room, and sometimes you can expect to meet the client at a job site. Surprisingly, a lot of meetings are held in coffee shops. They are convenient and can be found nearly at every street corner in every major city and town. Coffee shops are also a very relaxing environment, but you may be distracted by the baristas and the customers walking in and out of the shop. In other cases, it may be a lot better to meet in the client's office or conference room to discuss the details of your professional services. These meetings are more businesslike and require dressing appropriately. Other times, it may be more appropriate to meet the prospective client at the job site. In this situation, dressing in a business suit or dress shirt and tie may not be appropriate. Sometimes, it may be better to meet the prospective client by simply sending a mailer or email, but not boilerplate, to someone who you think really needs your professional services. Writing any letter or email requires that it will be tailored specifically to the client's needs. It is quite easy to recognize a standardized letter or email. Just think about how many standardized letters and emails you have received. And where do most of those boilerplate emails and letters go to? You guessed it, right into the trash bin. Your letter or email will stand out if you attach something like articles, newsletters, conference letters, free items that the prospective client may find useful. You will then want to follow up the letter or the email with a phone call. Instead of a letter, you may want to introduce yourself with a postcard, and on the postcard have your website, and later follow up with a phone call. It is now expected that the prospective client will be warmer when you make that follow-up phone call. Instead of sending mail, it may be a lot cheaper just by sending an email. Many people prefer emails over mailers and postcards. They can open up the message when they have time, and then they can save the message in an electronic folder. But the disadvantage is you don't know if they actually receive the email, and then you don't know if they actually open up the email. And some businesses receive so many emails that yours may not have been noticed. If you do send an email, make sure it's personal by adding links to articles and newsletters, to conferences or invitations to meetings or conventions, training programs, and websites that may be of interest to them. There are several methods that you can use to make contact with a prospective client. The main objective is to move from an unknown engineer or land surveyor and to someone eventually they like to do business with. Key number 3, networking and social media. Networking and social media are one of the best ways for an engineering company to market its services. Networking is nothing more than finding and communicating with your prospective clients. Effective networking events create a whole pool of leads. By exploring these leads or contacts, you will find new clients, make referrals, and gather more information. The ideal client professional meetings and events in online communities are usually the best networking events. Networking can also be done by having lunch with existing or former clients and colleagues. Further examples are volunteering and serving on committees, swapping contacts, and giving referrals. By effective networking, you will find a number of new clients that are looking for someone like you. In short, start talking to anyone and everyone you know. Ask if they need your services or know of someone who may need your services. And then create a contact list of all these different individuals that you can contact in the future. Social media marketing is the use of social media platforms to connect with your audience and to build your brand, increase sales, and to drive traffic to your website. There are a number of social media websites on the internet: Facebook, Twitter, and even LinkedIn, to name a few. If you're currently not using social media, it is best to start with just one. Once you've built your presence on the one social network, then you can then branch out to one or two more. Which one do you choose to be your first social media? I recommend Facebook or LinkedIn. You begin by sending an email to all your contacts and asking them to join you on your social media website. Next, you would want to add engineering issues that would be of interest to your potential clients. Regularly post new articles, pictures, and videos onto the website. Periodically talk about services that your company provides and any special deals that you may have. Free always grabs attention. For instance, you could offer a free article about how to process plans or permits through the county. You could offer free literature about software that your firm has implemented. Lastly, use social media to grow a group of individuals that are former clients, present clients, and future clients, including other professionals related to your professional firm. Now that you've seen the video all the way to the end and you want to see more videos, please subscribe and you'll be notified when our next video. Also, that special offer that will audit your company and see how well your company is doing. It will look at your operations, it'll look at your marketing, how you're dealing with clients, and your financials. Go to the website and go ahead and download it. So we'll see you on the next video.